Hi everyone, I'm Gabor Kelemen, and this is the usual every year State of Interoperability talk. I'm doing this since the third year, so it's mostly just updating the same stuff as last year and the year before. And yeah, I guess a lot of people are interested on the end user side about interoperability and how documents that were made with Microsoft Office, how do they look in LibreOffice. So let's see a few numbers I prepared for this year. Unfortunately, Calc has started to strike on me, so no charts this year. And a little bit of highlighting the most urgent, or at least most annoying for me, issues in docx, XLSX, and PPTX file format support and missing features that are still need to be developed in the LibreOffice side before we could talk about interoperability on the file level. So the ratio of open and closed bugs is pictured here. What we see is that some file formats have a little bit of change, a small downtick in docx and aptx, and a large on RTF. That's because we had at Allotropia we had a customer which wanted a lot of RTF fixes, so the downtick is thanks to that. And yeah, there is still a lot of work to do. Of course, it's not the same set of bug reports, but I don't have an exact statistics this year yet about how many was opened and how many old was closed. Yeah, so overall trends are a little bit good, or at least they are moving in the good direction, but for XLSX a little bit uptick was observed, so maybe a little bit more love would needed, at least at first on the triaging side. And this is the raw numbers. What we see is that number of metabugs has not really changed. There was one in docx and doc category that was new, but overall situation is roughly the same. And old binary formats such as doc, XLS, and PPT are massively underloved. Maybe people are no longer using that, which is also good news in a sense. Yeah, statistics on the previous slide was made from these numbers and the earlier years numbers for these categories. And this is the absolute bug numbers, not just ratio, but the absolute numbers, which are a little bit going up, except for RTF. But the real thing is that the ratio on the previous slide shows that the growth of open bugs is slower than the ratio of bugs being fixed. So overall we are going in the right direction, it's just maybe a little bit slow. So bigger things. Last year's talk I highlighted some 30 important bugs, and since last year these were of that pile fixed. So let's just stop and appreciate these people who were doing some important feature fixes or feature improvements. So we have now the Smart Justify feature and endnotes on the same page as the last page of text, and this pie and another pie or another bar chart type, which was made by this Kurt Nordbeck volunteer, who is, as far as I see, some newcomer, so not some veteran like Laszlo and Miklós. And we can see that not a lot of reports have or categories have reached 0 bugs, which is a little bit concerning in the long run. So yeah, this is the place of beautiful charts, which we will skip due to lack of time. So it's basically the same terrible situation in terms of missing features, because in docx format, but really it's a writer missing feature set. So if someone knows someone with a big pile of resources, please direct people to these numbers. The bug numbers are clickable, so after the conference the slides will be uploaded and everyone can take a look at these issues. The numbers in the after the bug number are the number of duplicates, which shows how many people are complaining. So about the same thing. So the most important looks to be this continuous section break. And after that, this text boxes with rotation. So pretty much the same as last year. Some more much requested or not so much requested issues with writer are highlighted here. These are mostly about features that are much loved by enterprise users, so, or not much loved, but much used. So in big migration projects, it might make sense to actually invest into developing these sorts of improvements. Yeah, and there are some kind of ugly-looking areas where the number of bugs is open bugs is actually quite high compared to the closed ones. So I'm not going to read this right now, but you can imagine this is quite a long and needs a lot of improvements still. And some bugs meta bugs are defined as maybe not so important because they contain a very small number of dependent bugs. Maybe we should just forget about these overall because they are not very useful. Okay, so we have this generic OXML category, which is missing features that are affecting all products, not just Writer or Calc or Impress, but all of them. So it's mostly missing charts that I highlighted and shape borders and all sorts of borderline fields which would need a little bit of improvement. It's kind of boring, actually, but if your document falls apart because of this, after a lot of work to make it beautiful, that's really annoying. And on the XLSX topic, or more like missing calc features, we still miss the beautiful color gradient and fill pattern cell backgrounds, and those threaded comments, which is like similar to what Word has, but the same is already implemented in Excel, but not in Calc. And yeah, some people would be really upset if they saw the placeholder VML image, which is like saying that you should use a newer version of Excel to see this threaded comment. Okay, what do we still have? Yeah, some beautiful background image can be added to Excel sheets, and we don't open that in Calc. And this ActiveX controls whatever that was in the early 2000s. This is completely lost on opening or saving stuff. Yeah, and this edit ranges stuff is very enterprisey feature, which is used in really big and bureaucratic organizations. Yes. Yeah, and but do we still have tracking changes in XLSX in newer versions? This is not really supported anymore in Excel even. So maybe not that important. Format as table is still kind of badly needed. It's listed on the tenders page on the wiki of Document Foundation, but due to the legal issues, Foundation does not tender anything, so it's still waiting for investment. Yeah, the 2019 or 2021, I see it as deprecated. Maybe it's still there, but it's more like supported on collaboration with SharePoint or through SharePoint with other people using the same file on SharePoint and not on offline files, if that makes sense to you. That should be possible, although I'm afraid it's this feature is also standardized in ODF, so the ODF people behind you will strangle you right now. So, or if you suggest that or something like that, sorry, bad joke. Yeah, me neither. I'm not suggesting feature removals. Yeah, so it's also possible that people use change tracking with ODF files, but we don't really have a metric for that. So like LibreOffice is free software and it does not phone calls home. So we don't have a number about how many people use it actually. Only some indirect measure that people are not really complaining about it in Bugzilla, then they are probably not using it either. Okay, so what do we have in this under-researched categories? Yeah, this ActiveX and legacy form controls is this binary blob not being written, so it does not work at all. That's one bug, but yeah. Once someone implements export, the small skeletons will fall out of the closet. And yeah, tracking changes is also under research. Just as I mentioned, people don't really complain about it, so maybe they are not using it either. Yeah, aggressive competitors, that was some several years old bug when some other project has given out some press release that their product is so much better than ours, and yeah, this ended up in this meta bug, but it's not really useful anymore, at least in my view. Okay.
Because the issues have become irrelevant, or because that is only Office?
Yeah, it's only Office, and it was a one-time event years ago. So
it's not something that continually comes up.
turns out it does not really come up frequently. Like people are not in the competitors. They are not coming up with slides and press releases that their product is so good and ours is not. Yeah, about PPTX. Yeah, this shrinking text on overflow thing is kind of annoying because yeah, it can, in title shapes or placeholders, it can shrink the text if it would be overflow, but not to any rate, but like only to 90% or something like that. And we are doing it unlimited, so it's looking bad. Yeah, and this master slides notes issue, so it's super annoying because the whole method of master sites and the layouts is very, very different than what PowerPoint does or has, and we cannot have arbitrary layouts made, and they cannot be attached to slides. It's just a fixed set, and in PowerPoint you can have many layouts attached to master slides, and we import that and export that. Nowadays kinda okay, but if you look into the details, it's actually kinda wasteful. It's not okay. Yeah, I would agree that it's far from being okay or even acceptable. But without a huge rework of this feature for feature parity, we are not going to have arbitrary slide layouts, customizable slide layouts, and interoperability with PPTX, especially when we are writing it in Impress. Yeah, it will fall apart. And the same goes with the equation issues. So what we have is a lot of university type slideshows coming in, and people are complaining that there are beautiful equations, like mathematics equations, are missing entirely from the shapes which contain them. But shapes can contain such complex OLE objects only in Writer and not in Calc or PowerPoint or Impress, sorry. And a pretty large amount of work would be needed there to get this to an acceptable level as well. And it's not unparalleled, because a few years ago the same issue came up with multiple columns, which was also fixed, and it was a feature which was supported in Writer but not in Calc and Impress. But thanks to Collabora's work, the feature was lifted from Writer and transplanted into another library, so that shapes with multiple column text could be imported and used in Calc and Impress as well. So this is not impossible, just a lot of work. What else we do have? Yeah, the 3D model issues is not really Impress specific, really. It's more like a generic issue, but there is also a lot of complaints about those. And handling text boxes with shrinking or growing is also kind of a weak spot, but very popular in PowerPoint. So fixing that would be really useful in the long term. And somehow in all these slides comes up that RTL writing direction issues are looking kind of bad in docx, XLSX, and PPTX import as well. So that's I hope it can be improved now that the Document Foundation has one employee working on that area. But it's not just import, but more like overall support of RTL writing direction, which is hugely problematic all over the place, not only in the OXML filters. Yeah, one more slide with under-researched areas. Maybe character formatting is not such a big problem in reality, because it's a relatively small dialogue and a small set of features, and they seem to be working pretty good. But RTL writing direction may contain a lot more issues on this area. And
For sure it does.
Yeah, thanks. And that was it. There will be more time to talk about interoperability at my workshop at 4 o'clock in this C10306 room. And see you there very soon. That's it for today.